Well, look, another guy coming into the company at this time is Lex Luger, and he's coming in during the Royal Rumble as the narcissist. He had a pretty infamous run-in with one of your mentors, Bruiser Brody, a handful of years prior to this. What did you think of Lex? Did you know about their run-in?
I didn't get along with Lex, but I didn't know about the run-in.
He was in a cage match with Bruiser Brody, and I think that Lex had kind of come to Brody before the match and said like, "Hey, so I'd like to do this, this, and this," and I guess Brody was offended by it. They get out into the ring, and Brody just stands in the middle of the ring and won't do anything. He won't sell for him. He won't say anything. He just is standing there. And finally, Lex, who's intimidated by Brody, just climbs out of the ring and leaves. So I guess he asked him later, and Brody just like no sold it. He was like, "No, I'm fine. Just didn't want to do it."
Yeah, I believe that 100%, and a good move by Lex because I could see why Brody wouldn't like Lex. Lex, like I said, the best gimmicks are the ones closest to who you are. and, the gimmick worked well for Lex.
Would you say that he was really full of himself during this time?
Pretty
He's a
much,
different
yeah,
man now.
pretty much back then.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, though, I worked with Brody before. We were in a show, a big house, and he wasn't happy with the front office, and he sat in a headlock. I got him in a headlock, and we sat there for 10 minutes, just sitting there. The crowd was booing. And I just became Hacksaw. I'm a young kid, and I'm like, geez, Bruce, what are we doing? He goes, I'm teaching you how to work with the office, kid. He said, they made him go to the ring, but they can't make you work.
Well, Vince was known to be a guy who was fixated on the bodybuilder type physiques. Did you think at the time that Lex was likely to get a main event push, or did you think he was too green?
Well, when they brought Lex in, that's when they brought the helicopter, right?
Well, so that's going to come later on the same year. It'll be like around July or something. That's when
Okay.
they'll change into like USA Lex Luger.
Yeah, that's what that was a writing on the wall for old Hacksaw to hit the road.
Another guy with a flag, yeah.
The flag and the helicopter and the Lex Express, and I got my flag taped to the flagpole. They might have invested a little more into his gimmick. So, yeah, I knew it was time to go. But, yeah, I could see the guy, he worked well down at WCW. People liked him. He had a good body. The character worked well. He was a good heel. I don't think he'd be a good baby face.
Yeah, they tried it. Didn't quite work out.
No, you can't. And that's it. You just can't give somebody the flag, brother.
Right.
It's been my honor to carry the flag. When I'm out there waving the flag and saying USA, it's coming from the heart, man. It's my biggest disappointment in the business. I was just talking to my wife because, Toby Keith just went down.
Yes.
And Toby was a big Hacksaw fan. He grew up in Oklahoma, so he used to come to the show. My family, we've been to his shows and stuff. And then we were watching his USA video, get teary-eyed watching it. But my biggest regret was I didn't get to go over to Iraq. They had me on the show to go over to Camp Victory in downtown Baghdad, which Vince doesn't get a lot of credit for. He took the whole show during the middle of the Iraqi war right to downtown Baghdad. I had to do a combat landing. And
Wow.
I was all set to go. I had my bags all packed, and Johnny Ace called me the day before. He's like, sorry, Duggan, we're bumping you and we're sticking a diva in your spot.
Oh.
I
mean, how pumped up with the troops of...
I can understand it, but throw some bags off. Let me sit in the back. I just wanted to go, I can understand all the young guys over in Iraq. You want to see old Hacksaw? Or a hot young diva? They'd be throwing rocks at me.
I don't know. You coming over there with the flag and chanting USA, yeah. I feel like it would get the crowd pumped up.
Yeah, I do a lot with the military, but that's one thing I've missed. A lot of guys had the opportunity to go over it. I don't think a lot of guys realize what a special opportunity that was.